A renowned museum right in our region. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Steve Plotkin. He is with the American Helicopter Museum and Education Center. Thanks for being with us.
Great, thanks for having us.
This region has a strong connection to aviation history. Talk to us a little bit about that connection.
It does. Philadelphia actually is the bedrock of American vertical flight helicopters. And even today, there are at least 4 companies that actually manufacture helicopters in the Delaware Valley. One is the Northeast Airport, one is Boeing, right down near the main airport, and Piasecki near the main airport, and there's a third one in Downingtown, Sikorsky. And each of these companies actually has an assembly line making helicopters today. But the history goes back 50 years in Philadelphia, and some of the original founders and folks who built things like this autogyro came from here.
And this connection, as you mentioned, goes back decades, but there's a museum and education center that people can visit today to learn about that connection,
Yes.
actually have a hands-on learning experience with their families today.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your museum and education center.
Well, the museum is located in Westchester at the Brandywine Airport, which is relatively convenient for most places. And it is a museum attended by about 35,000 people a year. Our average height of our attendee is about this tall. We measure it that way because lots of moms and little kids come to the museum. The moms bring the kids, let them go. It's very much a please touch kind of museum, so the kids can actually go out and do things and not hurt themselves. We also have all kinds of models and technology displays, plus a whole range of education programs. And on top of that, we have about 35 helicopters continuously on display, coming from really old stuff to the most latest stuff. And our latest helicopter actually is called a V-22 Osprey. Maybe you've seen that helicopter in the wars today.
We'll also learn about the history of helicopters, the history of aviation in this region, and also some of the interesting ways in which helicopters can be used, some non-traditional uses.
Sure.
Talk to us about an image that we're going to see, a novel use of helicopters, how they can actually be used to fix power lines?
Yes, there's a Pennsylvania company that has a patent on a helicopter with a bunch of attachments that allows a fellow to hang off the helicopter and actually fix power lines that might be 300-400 feet up in the air. Can you imagine doing this yourself, hanging off a helicopter?
Not a job for me, Steve.
Next to a power line that's holding 1,000,000 volts? Wow, terrific stuff.
One of the many uses for helicopters, but you also have a variety of education programs available through the museum.
Yes, we focus on STEM. Actually, one program we have now is for young girls between 8 and 16 years old, and we tied in with Drexel and the Girl Scouts, and we offer a program that runs right through the winter on teaching girls on Saturdays STEM subjects. We've had excellent attendance. We've doubled in size. We'll be starting our 3rd year this fall. Other education programs through the summer, one program actually teaches 12-year-olds to have the ability in 1 week to take the helicopter written exam, the FAA written test, in order to get a helicopter license. It doesn't include flying instruction, but it's about 1/3 the cost, and your kid can actually go and become certified and pass the test later to learn how to actually physically fly.
And that's just part of what you do as part of the educational component. You also have a variety of other activities. You have many activities over the summer and into the fall, but you're actually having a campaign underway to expand what you do.
Yes, the museum is about 15 years old, and we've taken it to a certain level. And we realize that the educational component really needs to be expanded dramatically because there's a demand, there's a need, and particularly on the female side of things, American technology jobs are only held by 10%, or 10% of the jobs are held by women and declining. So we're trying to reverse that trend by taking 8-year-olds, girls, and infusing them with the ability to enjoy the technology, become a pro at it, and so forth. Some of the other programs we have involve people renting our museum for birthday parties. It's one of the cheapest places you can go to for your kid to have a birthday party in an elegant location with all kinds of please touch toys, magnificent toys, all around you. So we have lots of evening events, afternoon events, and things like that.
All right, we can visit your website for more information, including some upcoming hands-on fun events right there at the museum. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
We've been talking with Steve Plotkin. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.